What is up, Booty Tribe? It is your girl Naja here, back with another celebrity book review, and you guys have been asking me for a minute to read this book, and I am so glad that I did. Like, I am not even exaggerating. This was such an eye-opening read and genuinely gives a completely different perspective to this person. Like, as you guys can tell by the blonde highlighted wig, because if you're new here, we try to match the look with the subject, okay? I have Britney Spears, The Woman in Me.
Now Britney Spears' new memoir, she writes about her marriage, the conservatorship, the Free Britney movement, and then the book is out this morning.
For my boys, who are the loves of my life. This book has been a labor of love and all the emotions that come with it. Reliving everything that you're about to hear has been exciting, heart-wrenching, and emotional, to say the least.
Guys, I know I usually title my videos reading this book so you don't have to. No, you guys need to read this book, okay? It is such an easy read. For one, fierce. I am not gonna lie to you guys, I am a really big Britney fan. I'm a bigger Britney fan than I am a Mariah fan. Like, I just want you guys to see how short these chapters are. This is one chapter, 3 pages, such an easy read. Not only are the chapters short, the content, chef's kiss. I'm not gonna ramble too much because, like, I know everybody and their mama is talking about her and Justin, but there is like so much better content in this book, and we're about to get into it, okay? So let's go.
Star Search welcomes 10-year-old Britney Spears.
So like I say in the majority of my book reviews, I really buy these memoirs because I love seeing what makes somebody a star, essentially. Like, what is it? Nature? Is it nurture? Like, what is it? I blame Michael Jackson, Joe Jackson, the Jackson 5 story, like, started my little obsession of knowing, like, what created these amazing people. And Britney's upbringing surprised me.
On December 2nd, 1981, Britney Jean Spears was born in the former dairy farming town of Kentwood, in Tangipahoa Parish, Louisiana, a conservative Southern American county.
Country girl, like real country.
A lot of farms have phased out now, so we're not as bustling as we used to be.
For one, Britney is not an only child. She has multiple siblings.
When people think of Britney, they automatically go to Jamie, and they don't think of life before Jamie. And this book gives a very good eye-opener on that. So they were poor. So a lot of the video footage you see online or like on TV that the family approved is of the house that was purchased post Britney on Star Search, post Britney on Mickey Mouse Club, right? They were not living right before Jamie Lynn was born. So I just want you guys to have a perspective of Britney's brother's experience and how the both of them have a different idea of life than Jamie Lynn would, okay?
I really appreciate how Britney gives a multi-generational breakdown at the beginning of the book, because it really shows the generational curses and how it evolved over time and passed on to other family members. And it started with like her grandmother.
Britney's mother had a British connection and some creative flair.
I heard the name Britney. I said, oh, that's kind of neat because my mom was from London. But I changed the spelling of it, of course, to make it more personalized.
And ended up trading all of those luxuries for poverty. My mother married a Spears, you know, and Spears men had a reputation for being alcoholics, abusive, just not the best.
Britney's father's roots were a little more local.
Jamie was like real laid back and a good old country boy.
Britney's father, Jamie, attempted to launch a variety of businesses without success.
One time he ran like a little weight room or gym next door to their house.
He owned a restaurant in Kentwood.
They had a crawfish place, Granny Seafood. After Granny died, they closed it down.
I also forgot to mention this with the generational stuff and the trauma with the Spears men in Britney's family. They also have a history of putting their women in insane asylums. Britney opened up and said that there are multiple women in her family who have either how should we say, what did they say on TikTok? That she unalived herself after being driven crazy by her abusive husband. And she's not the only one. There's multiple women in her family who have been put on lithium and have been institutionalized just like her. And there are other family members that have come forward and admitted that, you know, her grandfather was abusive. And it just goes back multiple generations that when it comes to Spears men, this is what they do to their women if you don't get with the program.
And her grandfather was very, very hard on her father. Very hard on him, to the fact where he would talk about it a lot, how his grandfather is very hard on him. Then Britney has an older brother, and in return, her father does the same thing and is super hard on him. Very, very critical of him on sports. Very, very critical of him on academics. Just critical of his manhood. Just doing the same thing his dad did. And I want you guys to hold on to that little tidbit of information because I'm going to bring it up again later. So at this time, before Britney is any type of household name, her parents are together but not in the best circumstances. They're arguing, they're always beefing. She says she recalls times where her dad would just be drunk at the dining room table and her mom just yelling at a drunk man who can't even comprehend or respond, and she would come out of the room and yell like, please shut up. Like, this is the upbringing. I don't know why. I knew that Britney was country, but I didn't know that she was like sticks country. Like, you have no family home and y'all had to go and get some boards, some dry wood.
Oh yeah, they were very poor.
Darnie Fennerty was Britney's headmistress at Darnie's Dance Factory on Georgia Avenue in Kentwood.
They couldn't afford to stay in the hotel, and they drove all the way back to Kentwood, 6 hours that night.
Oh yeah, it was tight. It was really tight. It was just really hard to make ends meet.
The father must provide for the children. And if he is unable to do that, then the mother has to step in. And it seems that's what Lynn Spears did. And looked at Britney and said, there's our ticket.
Britney knew she wanted to be something. She was like, we call them like a ham. You know, when you're like a ham of a child, you just love the attention. You will do little performances for family members. Like, that was Britney.
She would sing constantly for hours. It'd be right in front of the TV. I remember my mom calling her friend saying, you know what, I think my daughter can sing.
Lynn takes out a tube of lipstick and she starts dotting it on Britney's cheeks and kind of rubbing it in, and then she looks at me and she says, can she borrow your earrings? So we get to the crafts fair and there's this little stage and I'm thinking, oh no, what are they going to do to this child?
Despite their financial challenges, Britney's parents enrolled her in the most popular girls' sport in the South.
Pageants are like the Super Bowl of the South.
Britney, like all little Louisiana girls, tried her hand at pageant.
And Britney's mother tried to do some local stuff with her, and somebody told her straight up, like, look girl, this is the sticks, okay? You need to go for the big dogs. Just go to New York, go to Cali, do something, right? So they chose to go to New York because, of course, New Orleans on the East Coast. They go to New York. Britney gets into the Mickey Mouse Club. She's doing Broadway as a child, like,
She wanted to do Broadway, so.
From Kentwood, Louisiana, Star Search welcomes 10-year-old Britney Spears.
I'm Lynn.
Congratulations. How do you feel?
I feel wonderful.
All right, we'll see you next week. You're on your way.
I don't know if you guys can fully comprehend like how big that is, because in today's day and age, we don't have anything to measure that type of success right now. This was a child on Broadway with no previous nepo ties, none of that, and she's killing it, mind you. And during this time, she meets Justin Timberlake for the first time, Christina Aguilera, Natalie Portman. She's meeting all these people as children for the first time.
Hi, Linda. Listen. Oh, hi, Marvin. What's up? Ew!
This was a big scenery, and even back then, they would still let her go home to Louisiana. Notice I said let her. They would let her go back home to Louisiana, see her friends, all that type of stuff, right? At this point, her parents are separated, and her mother is just really, really focusing on making a household name out of Britney, right? In New York, trying to get her trained up. So when they would go to work in New York and come back to Louisiana, once they were back in Louisiana, it was full country business, okay? Full country debauchery.
Like most of her Kentwood peers, little Britney was raised to be a Southern Baptist.
There is a very strong emphasis in Baptist churches, all Baptist churches, on virginity. There's not a lot of discussion about sex in Southern Baptist life except to say don't have it.
And this is when I really got a full scope of like, wow, Britney really was robbed. Like, it's crazy. And I know when people think, oh, free Britney, oh, Britney, like, I know they have this idea of it just being like an over dramatic like thing. But when I tell you, I personally have my own memories of Britney Spears being exploited, and to see that this was the inside, I'm glad that we don't have pop superstars anymore. But then I think, yes, we do. K-pop idols. K-pop idols are literally going through the same thing that Britney's going through.
야, 세게 안 누른다 나 지금. 어? 나 지금 손만 살짝 올리고 있는 거야. 호해, 옳지? 호해. 내려가잖아. 야, 하고 있어요. 발 빼봐. 빼줘. 진짜 아프면. 원, 투, 쓰리, 포, 파이, 식스, 텐, 웬 아니지?
나도 생긴 것도 좀 생기고 노래도 어느 정도 좀 잘하고 춤도 어느 정도 잘 추는데 나도 가수나 해볼까? 라고 생각하시는 분들이 대부분일 거예요. 이 꿈을 꾸지 말아라 이건 아니에요. 그래도 한 번 더 생각을 해봐야 돼.
I'm gonna talk about that later. But yeah, that was the first thing that I thought about, really. So back to Britney. When she would come to Louisiana, she would do a lot of bad stuff. And mind you, she is a minor, so any bad stuff, her parents' fault.
In 1993, Lynn Spears and her daughter left Kentwood, Louisiana, and Britney's troubled father for the big city, Orlando, Florida.
All my boys were like, yo, Luna, Britney Spears, oye, tú sabes, oye, papá, esta muchacha está bella, no? And the show got canceled in 1994. Everyone started crying. Britney, especially, she was heartbroken.
A defeated Britney returned to rural Kentwood.
Where I come from is country, and when I get back home, I start talking country again. Got it. I feel the need for speed! All the kids in my neighborhood have go-karts. I work the cash register and clean the tables and help the customers. These are going to be the best shrimp you've ever had. This is my great-grandmother. Everybody calls her Granny.
At this point, Jamie Lynn has been born. I know a lot of people, whenever they think about this book, they love to hate on Jamie Lynn too. I'm gonna talk about her, but I'm not gonna get into her too much. But Jamie Lynn was born and she's a baby at this time. Britney is around 13 years old. Why the fuck is Britney's mom drinking liquor with her, smoking cigarettes with her, and even has Britney driving vehicles at 13? Just adultifying the fuck out of her.
Britney's Star Search experience showed that she could earn the money she needed to survive. It also cemented a bond with her mother.
My guess is because there was so much approval and total involvement from her mom, and they had this very close symbiotic relationship, which can sometimes look to border on unhealthy. So it kind of seems Britney is the new husband. She's making the money. She's the breadwinner of the family. She's bringing home the bacon.
They're going to New York together. They're going to Broadway together. There would be times where they would leave Jamie Lynn with the daddy or whoever, and they would both go to New York.
And as her failed father faded into the background, little Britney was left with a void that needed to be filled.
Got a dad who's failing financially, he's going bankrupt, he's not managing that part of his contract in the marriage. My guess is there's a hole in the family, and in that hole, that child will tend to develop feeling sort of an aching need deep inside to get that hole filled up.
She really adultified Britney at 13, like adultified her very, very young. There wasn't big money, but it was enough to make a difference. So you got Britney over here smoking cigs, drinking, all that stuff. She even lost her V card at 13 because she had too much freedom. She had way too much freedom.
Reg Jones was an experienced high school senior when Lynn Spears set him up with her daughter, who was only 14.
I saw her as just a little girl.
I think that this is more evidence of how Britney's mom was parenting her through the art of possession, not allowing Britney to have her own self and her own mind, which is a very important developmental step.
In Reg's basement, Britney felt safe enough to bare her soul.
Took Britney's virginity. No.
The mom just did not give a damn. Like, it was just a free-for-all. And one day when she was driving a car, her mom in the passenger seat, Jamie Lynn in the back, they crashed into a tree, almost died. Like, and then and then they had to leave it because think about it. What do you do? Say my 13-year-old crashed the car. Her parents are just so unbelievable. from a young age. Like, it's just crazy to me.
Britney also claims starting in 8th grade, she would drink alcohol with her mother, Lynn. Quote, my mom and I would drink daiquiris. We called our cocktails toddies.
So after, you know, the car crash and all that stuff, that is when I guess her family decided we need to take stuff seriously. Like, either you're gonna do this little high school bullshit, fuck on these boys and smoke cigs. I think she said, like, she was drinking a little bit for the first time. Like, she said she didn't really do drugs like that, but she was experimenting. And her people was like, look, we're about to take your career seriously. We need to get it going.
The music industry sold Britney as a cutie from Louisiana, and one who kept her virginity intact. Edge was pushed aside, because Lynn Spears knew that a single teenage girl is much more marketable than one with a steady boyfriend.
We were at a concert, and her mom came up to me and she asked me, if anyone comes up to you and asks who you're with or why you're with us, do not tell them that you're here because you're Britney's boyfriend. You're here because you're just one of Britney's real good friends.
Lynn Spears taught her daughter a hard lesson at the expense of Reg Jones. Now that she could be financially independent, Britney didn't need a man.
I won't say it was a slap in the face, but her mom was like almost a second mom to me.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, is how we are about to get into the coming of Britney Spears, okay? But I just had to do that part to let you guys know that she did get a taste of normalcy, if not a little bit more normalcy than an average child star would. However, on some Drew Barrymore shit, it's usually accompanied by boundaries being non-existent because they're the breadwinner. And stuff like this happens. You have people grooming them, hooking up with them, drinking, smoking, driving, like all of that stuff that children should not be doing, because that's a child, bitch.
Britney, now how old are you?
Okay, now we're about to get into some really cool stuff. So let's talk about the early career.
People in the street and go, oh my God, it's Britney! Chasing you down blocks with papers and pens.
No, it hasn't gotten like that right now, so that's good though. You know?
Right, because you still kind of have, you're still gonna be anonymous, but still have this amazing talent and people know who you are.
Her mother could not keep going to New York. Her mother could not keep flying back and forth all the time, right? So they did have to hire, and she said in her own words in the book, a handler.
Britney blames the managers, executives, and advisors who supposedly shoved her into the spotlight, then pushed her over the edge.
Dear fans, going and going and going is all I've ever known since I was 15 years old. It's amazing what advisors will push you to do, even if it means taking a naive, young, blonde girl and putting her on the cover of every magazine.
Britney's advisors, as well as her mother, claim that the idea to dress like a barely legal porn star was all Britney's idea.
But there's no way that she's sexually sophisticated enough to know that picking a Catholic schoolgirl's uniform is going to be the one thing that's going to make every man in America drool.
She came up with the concept and, you know, they helped her develop it, I'm sure, you know, but it was totally her idea.
Claiming any impure thoughts about her daughter were purely in the minds of the beholder.
I have a clean mind. I look at it as a clean performance. This is just Britney. This is Britney performing.
I mean, people can't tell me that it was Britney in control of her future at that point.
Okay, and I know you guys have heard multiple celebrities talk about handlers, Kanye being the most recent I can think of who was speaking about handlers in the media.
Found out that my trainer was a MK Ultra Canadian intelligence.
He worked in the defense research and development in the Canadian military, essentially working on psyops
Who's
in
this
the
guy?
Canadian military. This is Harley Pasternak.
Yeah, what I'm saying is, look, they tried to medicate me. I was exhausted. They wrongly diagnosed me, and they when I asked them how much lithium did you want to put me on exactly, it took them 4 days to answer because they were embarrassed about the amount.
If you guys are conspiracy theorists, you've heard of handlers for decades. It's basically people whose sole purpose is to handle celebrities and big name individuals so that they don't say something they're not supposed to say, do something they're not supposed to do. And that's just that.
Chappelle is back at it again, exposing Hollywood handlers. And this time, he's dragging Oprah for profiting off of other people's suffering and doing business with shady elites.
I found out the hard way. They did some shit to me I didn't even know they was allowed to do. I knew they could take a nigga to jail. I thought that was it. These motherfuckers put me in a real mental institution with real crazy people. What the fuck?
And basically it was like, you know, I think because she was raised Christian, and I think they found out that, like, I think it was an arranged marriage, I'm pretty sure. I'm not, looking back now, I'm like, it was definitely an arranged marriage. Like, they set the Whole thing up.
Miss your flight. You're gonna miss your
One
flight.
last one, you gotta go. They just texted.
You guys are mean.
I know. It's not her
First right here.
We love you. I'm coming, Dad.
Daddy says it.
Daddy.
First, gotta get one.
Who hires these handlers, who's in charge of these handlers, I have no fucking idea. Some people think it's the label. Some people think it's their law firm. If it's a conservatorship, some people think it's the estate. Like, I don't fucking know. But it was very interesting how in this early part of her career, because she was signed to Jive Records at 15. Okay.
Britney was 15. Her mother arranged an audition with some heavyweight record executives who fell in love with her fresh face.
Fun fact, one of her handlers, who she named Miss Felicia, is actually in the Hit Me Baby One More Time video.
A day in the life of me. Hey, what's up, folks? It's Felicia, but you can call me Fee because everybody calls me Fee. And I am Britney's personal assistant. I've been working with Britney for, gosh, almost 5 years now. I'm going to give you a rundown of a normal day in my life. I get off the bus, depending on what time we leave, probably about 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning, and I get Britney a strawberry frosted Pop-Tart and some water and send her on into her room. And then I try and get back to sleep. I always give Brit a couple hours heads up before we get ready for bags to leave for the venue. So most of the time, I'll call and see if she wants to go to the gym, and then we'll have coffee and go to the gym, come back, get ready, load our bags on the bus, and off we go to the venue. And once we get to the venue, it's when the real day begins. The first thing we usually do at the venue is get settled into the dressing room, which is gorgeous, and then we do a sound check party. So you see a video, and then they have a couple cool little games. Then Brit comes out. She does a warm-up to a song just to kind of get her vocally ready. After the soundtrack party, we do a Make-A-Wish child or two. We try and do that in every single city, and it touches her, I promise, as much as it touches the children. It's a beautiful thing to do. And then I start making my rounds at the venue, whether it be gathering up autograph requests from our crew or making sure she's got the special things that we like to eat on the bus, and then get her in hair and makeup at the right time so she can be ready for showtime. And right before she goes on the stage, I change into a beautiful coverall, which is a one-piece outfit that the guys wear that's a black or navy blue, so you'll see me when I go up on the stage to help her. And during the show, I'm underneath the stage in a little tiny dressing room, so I've never actually seen one of the shows, ever. Once I get on the bus, so actually I help her get out of the clothing, which are usually soaking wet from the last song, hang them up to dry because we need to use them the next day, and then I take my makeup off and take my hair out of a ponytail, have a yummy snack of some sort, which is we should peel around, maybe have some popcorn or something, and then we always pick a movie. The best thing about my job is how they travel. I love the travel.
A lot of people in the past have complained about handlers on some like Kanye, on some they can't do, say nothing, right? A lot of celebrities don't mind them though because they're usually pretty fucking lonely. Now this didn't happen when she was a child. This happened when she was in like her early 20s, like 21, 22. But even Madonna even was talking to her about manifestation, things like that, secret society religions that I don't want to say on YouTube. It was just really interesting to see, almost from like a naive point of view from Britney when she was writing the book, how it's like this has been her norm for so long that she's assuming that the masses know about this type of stuff, when it's like, yeah, we're aware because we have internet, but like, girl, you're on a whole new playing field, and you're just openly talking about old religious texts, certain meditation techniques, and Madonna telling you about it. And Madonna is practically a fucking vampire who has a whole bunch of secrets. So it's just like, I don't know, that was creepy to read about. Seeing her talk about her work ethic and everything was really, really inspiring. I love how you can tell it's written in her voice, like her talking about these experiences, being in the studio and like not getting adequate PR training and being left alone with these handlers to just go around and just doing what they say because she doesn't have any PR training.
Hey guys, you got any questions for Britney or one of her dancers, TJ?
Pedro? Jacqueline? You got a question for Britney? Wait, Pedro first, go ahead.
How did you win that?
What?
How did you win that?
How did you win that Super Soaker game? What was your plan? What were you thinking?
Just to concentrate on getting back to the bucket and getting more water.
Okay, cool. Jacqueline, you got a question?
Like that clip when she was getting grilled by people on the street. Yeah, she genuinely, that was a genuine reaction from her because she had no PR training at all.
It's fake, because she plays off like I'm a good little country girl, but then she walks around wearing absolutely nothing, so.
No, dude, she has the body. If you had the body.
I'm sorry. She didn't even know that was even going to be playing. Because y'all got to understand, back in the day, the media was much different. Now, today, if you release something somebody doesn't want, you can do privacy complaints, you can get stuff taken down, all that stuff. Back then, they used to set these celebrities up on purpose. And I low-key credit the Kardashians for letting celebrities take a little bit more control of their public image and stuff like that. Because before them, it used to be a free-for-all. Like, these paparazzi was acting crazy. It was just crazy.
2 years later, Britney was the fantasy of young girls and older men all over the world.
What happens in 1999 to Britney Spears? It's like the nuclear reaction chain. She has the single, Hit Me Baby One More Time, the video with the schoolgirl uniform, and then you've got the Rolling Stone cover. It's the mushroom cloud.
Britney presented to the public was a nubile Baptist virgin who supposedly didn't know that she turned men on.
So now let's get into the puppy love and the just craziness of it all, because we're going to talk about Justin for like 2 seconds, I guess.
So, watching the VMAs the other night, it was like the Justin Timberlake show.
No.
Oh, yes, it was. Oh, yes. And so it should be. They did.
Thanks.
And every time anyone was on, it was like cutting to you. Like, what were you meant to do?
But I think like all the camera shots towards me, I was just kind of like, come on.
Give me a break.
Yeah.
Just give me a break.
So if you're new to this channel and you don't know this, prior to Britney, I've never liked Justin Timberlake. I've liked his music, don't get me wrong, because obviously he steals from our culture and it's a bop. And then he be putting Timberland on that bitch. Like, what do you mean? He put Nelly Furtado on that bitch. What do you mean? He even got on a track with Madonna, and that made me side-eye Madonna because you knew what Britney went through with him.
The funny thing was, like, there was so much drama over the kissing on stage, and I was like, not that I didn't, you know, that I was upset about it, I just wasn't impressed.
What I'm saying is, I never liked him as a person. I've always saw him as slimy. I've said on multiple videos about Janet, how he did Janet at the Super Bowl.
If you're gonna do it like, you know. I think
I would have, like, yeah, I agree. If you're gonna do it, do it. I would have liked to see some tongue.
Awesome. Just flash something.
Liquor face.
Yes, now you're talking.
Yeah.
That's
hot.
A few moments later.
There were a lot of people that were completely offended by what happened, including my own family. And I think that's probably the part that's frustrating the most for me. And
I am really sorry if I offended anyone. That was truly not my intention.
He's just always been slimy. And I remember being a kid and even knowing that that song, Cry Me a River, was about Britney. And I thought too, like, damn, that's crazy that, you know, she cheated on him. But I will even admit, even as a kid, I was like, damn, he's still talking about this shit.
Cry Me a River, that's a beautiful, beautiful video. And who's that about? The hat looked familiar, but I couldn't really...
I know that when people hear some of the songs on this record, they're going to associate it with different people. I know someone specifically that they're going to associate some of the songs. Writing a couple of the songs on the record really helped me deal with things. And I promised to her that I wouldn't say specifically why we broke up.
You've been quoted as saying something very bad happened. You can just clear up this. The impression is that Britney did something very bad that hurt you. She had a relationship with somebody else. Was there an incident?
Honestly, I mean, you know, we're not perfect.
So what happened is Justin just drug it in the media and tried to paint her as like this overly sexual, promiscuous woman who was just over here gyrating on any man to cry him a river because he wanted someone loyal.
I would love to be able to try and wait till I'm married, you know what I mean? And just make sure it's the right person.
There is a rule in the book, the Bible, that says that. I think that is a really important thing to do. No, I'm going to try. I'm going to try to stick to what I said and see.
Britney has always said, and I'm quoting, good morals mean waiting to have sex until after you've been married.
I would definitely agree with her on that.
Okay. Did you and she live up to this during your relationship?
Sure. Sure.
Okay, I asked it, you answered, right?
There you go.
We both did our job.
There you go.
Justin Timberlake is in the house. And I just want to ask you one question. Did you Britney Spears? Yes or no?
Oh, man.
Come on, man.
Okay, I did it. No,
He would just keep playing on it like, man, I'm just such a lover boy. I don't know why. I'm a bad boy and I attract bad girls and this is what happens. And it's like, Justin, you're grown. You're grown, and then you're cringy as fuck. Your fits are cringy. Your hair's cringy. Your vibe's cringy. Like, literally, it was weird. It was a weird time. What I didn't expect, though, was for their relationship to be so close.
Okay, I've heard, like, a rumor that you and Justin from NSYNC have gone out. I was just wondering if it was true.
No, it's not true.
Not true?
No, it's not
It's
true.
not true.
You being a girlfriend to Justin from NSYNC, is that true? No.
You know, Justin's very cute, and I would love to go out with him, but we're not boyfriend and girlfriend. We're not boyfriend and girlfriend. We've hung out, and we're really good friends, just like, you know, we're friends.
We were totally macking on the balcony, and I don't even care who saw us. 11 a.m. Kissed Justin goodbye and told him we'd chill out tonight.
Are you really dating Britney Spears? That's from Minnesota, Michigan.
Yes.
Yes! All right, that's fair enough.
Yes, we are dating. We're dating, and you know what? It's just really cool to have someone
that understands what you're going through because he's in the business as well. And we've known each other since we were very, very young. He's like my best friend, you know. So yeah, we are dating.
I always thought when I was younger that their relationship was very PR. I didn't know that they were really dating. I didn't know they met as kids. They lived together, bitch. They lived together in an apartment. They even had a baby together. He got her freaking pregnant and made her go and get an abortion. And guess who was with her? The handler in the Hit Me Baby One More Time video. Very odd. And Justin was there too. She popped a pill and just stayed in her house in Louisiana and had the miscarriage or the termination or whatever. And then he broke up with her via text.
Justin definitely wasn't happy about the pregnancy. He said we weren't ready to have a baby, that we were way too young. She then claims, I agreed not to have the baby. If it had been left up to me alone, I never would have done it. Adding that, it's one of the most agonizing things I have ever experienced in my life. Fans now point to the music video for her 2003 single Every Time as her processing that trauma. ET's reached out to JT's reps and haven't heard back, but a source tells us he's trying not to concern himself with Britney's memoir. He still has respect for her, but wants everyone to grow and evolve instead of continuing to bring up the past.
Justin's an asshole. I don't want to spend too much time on him, but he ain't shit. Period. He ain't shit, and I'm glad that he's getting his karma in the 2020s and that people really aren't giving him the time of day. People are holding him accountable for his culture vulture ass, okay? So after Justin, this is when we get the Britney party girl era, I think. I wouldn't say completely like party girl because she swears up and down she didn't do no drugs. All she did was drink a little bit of alcohol and take a lot of Adderall, okay?
Candidly, just between you and me, how much Pepsi do you think you drink on an average day?
I really do like Pepsi.
Really? What's your favorite kind?
My favorite kind of Pepsi? Pepsi's Pepsi.
Well, you don't drink Diet Pepsi or...
No, just regular Pepsi.
So what are your favorite shows on television?
My favorite shows on television, Sex and the City, definitely. Sex and the City, Friends, of course. And I like these reality shows on MTV now.
You see photographers following you all the time?
Yeah. Yeah, well, it's not all the time. I mean, kind of in LA, there's usually a lot of photographers and stuff.
What's going on, Britney? Britney, what's going on?
Britney, what's going on? Britney? Britney?
Where's the Range Rover? Ryan! Down the street? Do you know where?
I'll tell that valet to get your car for you. Thank you. I'll sign an autograph instead.
When I go to London, it's not as bad. It's cool. When I go overseas, I can kind of escape a little bit.
Being back on the trail again.
In the past year, a report that she had tried serious drugs at a club, starting with marijuana.
I've been around people and I've gotten the high off of it, and that is enough for me. I can't do that. I don't do that.
You talked about experimenting, partying. Cocaine?
No, I never.
They left the impression that at clubs that you tried cocaine.
I've experimented in partying, but never that. I could never do something like that. I mean, I definitely, in this industry, there's people that do that around you 24/7.
Matt, to get a couple of pictures.
So, you just have to learn who you hang out with. And I mean, I've had amaretto sours, and if I'm gonna drink, and I love red wine right now. Red wine, it makes me like really mellow, and but as far as, I'm such a control freak, I would never be able to do something that makes me feel out of it. I mean, drinking makes me feel that way sometimes, so I can't.
She is saying her drug of choice during the 2000s, we're told this has been an ongoing thing up to this day, is Adderall. That Adderall is something that she needed to take her out of depression and to kind of right the ship of the way she saw it. Right. But this is something that has been in her life for a long time.
And she is admitting this in the book, which I think is interesting, considering we know that Britney has other medications that she has to take. And I'm just wondering, when I read that, I was like, well, how does Adderall fit in with all the other medications she's supposed to be taking? And do the doctors who are giving her, prescribing the other medications, know about the Adderall use?
So my rebuttal to that is Adderall is very, very similar to meth, speed, that type of stuff. And people used to take speed back in like the 60s and 70s that were college students. And then we got older and realized like, oh, maybe that's not the best thing to do, right? I gotta call a spade a spade. I think Britney did have a problem with Adderall. Throughout the book, she constantly had them in her purse and would justify it on some I need the energy. But I'm gonna bring it up later. I'm gonna tell you guys why I think she probably did have a little bit of a problem. She would be popping them beans or whatever, and she would be running around all over Vegas and just acting a fool. She got married to one of her friends while on Adderall, acting a fool.
So it's coming. We're gonna do the marriage question now.
Okay.
Let's breathe. Let's breathe through this. Okay, and it's not gonna be that bad. But here we go. You said it was a joke and that it was Vegas and you got carried away. I get carried away in Vegas. But what were you thinking? What was your headspace?
Honestly, I really wanted to see what it was like to be married. Maybe that sounds silly, but in that moment, I was just I was with a friend that I love dearly, and I wanted to do something wild and crazy, and I wanted to get married, so that's why I did it.
Yeah, her parents stepped in. Her parents, the separated parents, came back together just to step in and be like, hey, you need to get your life on track. You can't be marrying these random people because then they get all of your assets. So they forced her to get a divorce to this man that she was married to for a few hours.
Tell me what happened?
What happened in Vegas?
Yeah, man.
Man, we went to Vegas for New Year's Eve to have a good time and relax and just cut loose a little bit, you know, get away from everything. And I don't know, it was a couple of days after New Year's, I guess, and we've been having a good time. And
did she just go ahead and say come to Vegas, or you guys been friends? Just how did you come about to go to Vegas?
Well, she came down for Christmas Eve, and then she asked me to go to Vegas with her. But we've been friends for a long time, you know. We've done different things in the past, so it wasn't nothing, you know, new to me.
Where did you meet? Just around town, or just?
No, we grew up together. Her mom used to own a kindergarten, preschool, and I went to school with her there, and I just known her since forever. Her family's good friends with my family, and just that kind of thing, relationship like that.
So she said, let's go to Vegas. We're going to Vegas and have a good time.
Called me up to the night before New Year's Eve and said, let's go to Vegas. So I was like, cool. We got everything ready, and we left and went to Vegas. And we just had a real good time. And Saturday night, I guess, was it Saturday night, January 3rd? Yeah. Saturday? Morning, actually. And we were sitting in the room, man. It was just crazy. We was looking out the windows, and we was just looking at the lights in the city, and we was like, man, this is a real pretty beautiful night. It was cool. And we was looking at each other, and we was like, let's go do something wild and crazy, and let's go get married just for the, you know, for the hell of it. Let's go. We just got up and said, let's go do it. So
because you're 22 and
22.
Why not?
Why not? And so we went to the chapel, and we set everything up and got married, and we did everything, the whole pictures and everything.
I mean, you went back and got a license too, and didn't they say you need a license? You went back and got one?
Actually, you have to have a license, you know. And we wasn't really wanting anything to be official, you know, like the official marriage thing. It was more for just the idea of just go get married. And so we ended up having to get a marriage license, so we went and got it. And we got back with the license, and we sat in the car, and we were like, we're going to do this? And we decided on, yeah, we're going to do it. So
what was her attitude? She had just having fun, like yes, or were you both a little bit like, uh-oh, should we do this?
We was both like yes on the outside, and I think we was both on the inside, kind of like, I don't know, you know.
That nervous kind of danger a little bit. This might be wrong.
Yeah, and so we went ahead and did the whole thing, and we got back to the room, and we decided that's when we needed to tell everybody what we done did. And then that's when hell broke loose, and we realized that what we did wasn't probably the right thing we should have done, and wasn't the right way to go about it, and that we needed to fix the problem the mistake we made. So that's where the annulment came in, and we got the annulment, which I think is finalized today. So
what made you who was the first person to say, hey, this might be the wrong thing?
Well, we both, after everything kind of was talked about and everything was, it was out, you know, we both sat down and talked, and we was like, you know, maybe that was not a very cool thing that we should have done, or that probably wasn't the right way or the right thing that we did, you know. Maybe we should have.
You could have done that with any girl in the world, but it happens to be Britney Spears.
Well, you know, Britney's, like I said, a very good friend of mine. We have a real good relationship. And just from being around her so much, and before she was Britney Spears, I just never have really thought of her as the way everybody else does. So to me, it wasn't really that big a deal that I was marrying Britney Spears. But well, obviously somebody does, you know.
It's the way that I want to live. It's my prerogative. So now let's talk about K-Fed, Kevin Federline, the biggest mistake.
I don't believe in fairy tales anymore. Britney is hardened.
Why do you think I can't let go?
I don't know. I think that you're scared to love me, and that makes me scared to love you.
It was no hookup.
It was not a hookup.
You promise?
I swear. I promise.
We're in a deep conversation. I'm like, what is he saying to her? What is she saying to him?
That's the big brother, the parent in me, wanting to know what the heck's going on over there.
I was nervous. I was very nervous.
You were nervous? I didn't expect it. Came out of left field and kind of slapped me in the face. She popped the question to me. She was like, will you marry me?
Please welcome for the first time on television together, Britney Spears and Kevin Federline. Now you're married, and to him. And
we met at Joseph's. It's a nightclub.
How did he propose? Can I ask that, or is that too much? Am I being nosy?
I proposed.
You proposed? Really? And did he say yes right away?
Not right away.
No.
Actually, I was a little rejected at first. I kind of got slapped down.
No, well, I told her, I told her that it's not right for the woman to ask the man. The man's supposed to get on one knee and do it all right and this and that.
Whatever. Yeah. Exactly, whatever. Now look, I'm not going to give her too much, but I will say this, Britney. Where you came from, you should have known this was not it. I don't care. Like, you met him when you were 21, 22, had the baby when you were 21, 22, whatever. But you know, coming from the South, you know any man that already got a baby mama and like 3 fucking kids before you is probably not the best fucking catch.
He had already accepted the 2 children I already had as his own, so we wanted to add to that. Finally, we got pregnant with Corey, and it was like the happiest day of his life. One of the hardest things through the whole breakup was being 7 months, 8 months pregnant and seeing pictures of the person that I love making out on hotel balconies, and it was bad. It was everywhere. Couldn't watch TV, couldn't turn on the radio, couldn't read a magazine, you know. For them, it's all entertainment, but it's my life. I was forced to live out one of the most painful experiences of my life in the public eye. I came home, and we started talking, and he said it was just a thing. It was just a little fling, and it happened. And,
I hung out with her.
You know, I hung out with her.
Yeah.
And, and then, and he wanted to work on our family.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Amazing. And he had interacted with your other kids a lot.
For 4 years, we lived together, you know. That's what made me decide that that's who I wanted to be with.
The baby, that's very exciting. Now you have to be really excited about that.
Yes, ma'am.
The last one.
I know I've caused you a lot of pain, and I've been really selfish. I guess I got so wrapped up in all this other that I never really sat back and had a chance to apologize to you. I really do want you to know that I am sorry.
6 years after Kevin Federline left a pregnant Shar Jackson for Britney Spears, Kevin apologizes on the season finale of Celebrity Fit Club on VH1. Kevin shares 2 children with Shar and has remained friendly with his ex, but with all the ups and downs in his relationship with Britney, Kevin never said sorry to Shar until now. But I think on some generational curse shit, she thought that was all she was worth. The media was telling her that wasn't what she needed to do. Everybody telling her that's not what she needed to do. And she went ahead and got with this man, got married, had babies.
If they're happy and that's what she wants to do, then I want her to do it.
Congratulations! I hope everything works out, you know? Hey, more power to you. Good luck.
Britney's trouble. She's trouble, but you know, she's an adult. She does what she wants to do, and I mean, you know, much power to her, definitely.
She's happy, good for her. You know, if this is really the one, then hopefully.
I'm so happy for her, and it's been months since she was married, isn't it? Yeah, I don't know. It seems like a bad idea, but what do I know about these people? Maybe they'll be married for 75 years. I have no idea, but on the surface, it doesn't seem like it's a good call.
Anne McMahon has known Britney since her Star Search days.
I hope it's a long engagement. I wish her well. She's done some crazy things, that very quick marriage, that 20-minute marriage she had before. I hope this is more serious, and I hope she takes time to find out about herself so she can then give herself to somebody else.
And that was literally the beginning of the end for Britney, was when she let K-Fed impregnate her and have babies. And she really was in love with this man on some elementary level shit. Really, if we're being honest. I mean, I know she could say today that she's glad she got kids from him. I know she wouldn't go back, but it's just reading the book, it's giving puppy love. There was really nothing of substance. Y'all both like to dance. Y'all were both in each other's face 25/8 in rehearsals. Y'all were both country and ghetto and country ghetto shit, jean shirts. That's about it.
Oh, God. Okay, listen.
Where are we at?
We're in Spain where it's not playing. It's pretty here. It's a little nipply. And this is the steam room. And shower, few people. And you guys shower in the pool. I cried myself up. Okay. I'm ugly.
No.
My jaw hurts.
That doesn't mean you're ugly.
Well, it's
You've been grinding your teeth?
I've been grinding my teeth because I'm nervous. Oh, I don't know why. It's weird.
What are you nervous about?
I'm not really nervous. Those things come out there like that. Have you ever had butter beans? What do you think about Eminem?
I think he's a genius.
He's a genius. But he complains a lot. But that's cool.
I don't know personally, but
Because it's cool when guys complain about things that girls have done to them and or their mothers. Cry me a river. I personally think it's kind of pussyfied, but it's like... Okay, if you could marry anybody and like the finest celebrities in the whole world, who would you marry? Like right now, if you had to choose somebody.
none of y'all, because y'all are all fucked up. I'm just kidding.
If I was your best buddy right now, you'd be like, fuck yeah.
Okay, but if you were my best buddy, then that means that there wouldn't be somebody else. If there was somebody else that I really cared about, that I was with, if I didn't care, do what you want to do. I don't give a fuck. Hell yeah, I'll go fucking smash Holly Berry, blow her back out.
Oh my God, that was so uncomfortable.
After she did get pregnant, this is when, and she had baby number 1, he knocked her up like immediately after.
Nobody's here yet, except me and Jill and Jessica. So come look at the beautiful thing.
Beautiful and intimately Moroccan. That was the theme of Britney's baby shower, all the way down to the flaming torches and bamboo tents. Dun, 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 dun. A singing and beaming Britney greeted 19 of her closest friends and family who arrived, bedazzled and bejeweled, just as the layer and black silk invitation stated, saying, "Come barefoot and beautiful, veiled in your Moroccan finery." Britney's little sister Jamie Lynn chose a light green gypsy-style top and arrived with friend Casey. Her cousin Laura Lynn arrived just days later. That's a lot of Lynn's. But the most anticipated arrival was Kevin's wide-eyed children, 3-year-old Corey and 1-year-old Caleb. Britney's mom, Lynn, introduced Corey around. Stepmom Britney gave them each a welcoming kiss. Then with Kevin's sister Nikki holding Corey, they worked the camera. And played with the rose-petal trails leading from tent to tent. Britney and her expanding belly look lovely in a black halter dress and cowboy boots, which the 23-year-old mom-to-be needed help getting off to have some henna tattoos drawn on her toes.
Rapunzel.
Britney then let her hair down for an impromptu photo shoot, which included the kids and her cousin Jessica, shots of Britney's mom and Aunt Sandra, and the finale, a shower group shot.
So she just had a baby, and then now she's knocked up again. Like, bruh. And I talked in another video about men who purposely get women pregnant to, like, slow them down and, like, have control and shit. I don't even know if he was doing that as much as he just, like, was just careless and just didn't give a fuck. Because it's not, I don't know, like, bro just, because he has so many fucking kids. He has so many kids. It's ridiculous. I stay seeing him on all these little shows about how he's letting his baby moms down and shit. Like, he just ain't shit.
Let's go, guys. Keep him in line, guys. Back up, guys.
So yeah, once she was pregnant the second time too, like it was the beginning of the end. So at this point, now that she has her kids, K-Fed did this thing one day where he went over to pick the babies up and just took the babies and never came back. And then whenever she tried to go to his house to get the babies, he'd be like, no, you need to go to court. We have to go to court. You're not safe. You're over here doing Adderall and you're not safe.
How you guys doing, Britney? You guys good? How you doing, Paris? Good? Guys, move. We're moving.
Britney, you signing photos, please? Britney, okay? What's up, guys? Please, Britney. Give them space. Britney, okay, Britney, please. Guys, back up. Just give them a little bit of space so they can find the way. Okay. It's so dark.
That was the first time of somebody being like, you're a danger to yourself and others, right? Then miraculously, her mom and dad are back together.
I'm just so relieved that that this is over with, that our family can finally put this behind us and move forward.
And they're like, yeah, no, he's right. And we need to stand with the one sane parent here. So we're going to stand with K-Fed and we're going to be in those boys' life. And you need to stay away from them for the time being.
Britney Spears may be without her children for now, but the custody struggle between Spears and ex Kevin Federline isn't over yet.
So what they did was, I want you to imagine this. She just had a baby and then got knocked up again, had a second baby. And then while both babies are still infants, the father takes them away. Postpartum depression, who? Postpartum psychosis, what? Like, that is so intense.
Guys, give room, please. Give some room, please. Room, give room. I got that, please.
Allie, give me a card.
So intense. And then, like I said earlier, 2000s paparazzi, 2000s media is different than today. Every time she's going outside, she just had under two, she's gained a lot of weight. I remember being a child seeing magazines of Britney in the supermarket of her just being, she's gained weight, like crazy shit. And K-Fed would feed into it. He did the same thing Justin did, made songs about how this harlot did him wrong and XYZ.
I'm willing to admit that in the throes of severe postpartum depression, abandonment by my husband, the torture of being separated from my 2 babies, the death of my adored Aunt Sandra, and a constant drumbeat of pressure from paparazzi, I begun to think in some ways like a child.
Mind you, Britney over here paying his child support for the other baby moms. Like, it's crazy. While he's withholding the babies, she's paying child support for children that are not hers because they're married. So now Buddy want a divorce.
After 2 years of marriage, Britney Spears has filed for divorce from Kevin Federline, citing irreconcilable differences. He spoke about how strong his relationship with Britney was and how partying has affected their relations.
It's hard to see everybody right now. You know, it's like it's hard enough trying to get time to see my kids.
According to People magazine, Britney filed the divorce papers on Tuesday. However, Britney listed Monday as the official separation day. While continuing the exposed shoot at dinner that same night, the singer was text messaging someone and appeared to be upset. Kevin removed his mic and was gone for 30 minutes. Kevin later returned visibly upset, but finished shooting the rest of the episode of Exposed.
A judge ordered the troubled pop star to give up her 2 children Monday and hand them over into the custody of Federline. Spears' attorney in a published report said she lost custody because she failed to produce a California driver's license and allegedly missed a drug and alcohol test. Attorneys for Spears and Federline are back in court Wednesday on the custody matter. The judge had already cited Spears' continued drug and alcohol use as a reason for the court's concern for the safety of Spears' children aged 1 and 2. While Britney Spears may have a chance for custody or visitation of her sons in the future if she can obey the court's guidelines, Kevin Federline is stepping in as a full-time father of 2.
He gets a divorce and he's just in cahoots with her parents the whole time on some like, yeah, let's work something out.
Okay, here's another one. Kevin Federline. Do you like him?
I do like him.
Really?
Yeah. He's been good to us. He's included Jamie and I. And Kevin could have been a real pill about a lot of things, but he wasn't. He worked with us, and I think he's tried to make everything good for the boys. He's really thought. He's thought about the boys through all this.
Because again, y'all know what's coming next. The conservatorship.
May I ask you your opinion on Britney Spears?
Fuck that bitch. And I'm glad she lost her kids. Ha ha, bitch. Even though you got money, you still don't got your kids. Ha ha ha. Fuck you.
I am so freaking disgusted. I'm editing and I'm like trying to get through this, you know, because this is a long awaited video, but I have to say something. This is disgusting. During this process, I've seen tons of paparazzi or other people who were in the field, these same men and women in the field doing all this stuff, re-uploading their videos and like saying like, I'm sorry, Britney, for being part of the problem. And I see why. He literally just went in that car and said, did y'all see a baby in there? Are you serious? And don't even get me started on this sloppy ass poor excuse of a human being right here. Sir, I hope nothing but the worst for you. Like, are you serious? You even hear what you're saying? That don't even sit right with his conscience. You see how he looking everywhere but the camera? See how that worked? I'm sorry, that just got me mad. My bad. Continue the video.
The 26-year-old was taken to the UCLA Medical Center by ambulance with a police escort in the early hours of Thursday morning. She's apparently been committed to a psychiatric ward for a 72-hour stay. US law allows patients to be placed on involuntary psychiatric hold for 72 hours if it's thought they could pose a danger to themselves or others. Last month, Spears was admitted to the Cedars Medical Center after refusing to surrender custody of her 2 sons in a police standoff. Following the incident, sole custody of her sons was awarded to ex-husband Kevin Federline.
They tried to say that she was a danger to herself because they found the Adderall use. So they used the Adderall use and put her into rehab. The judge agreed. There was like this whole intricate business thing going on after she shaved her head.
Back up, please. Back up, please. Back up, please. Back up, please. Back up, please.
What do you think? It's true about the rehab? I know it's not, but I just want to listen from you. Get in the back, Ben. Britney, why you touch your hair like that? Stay one side, stay to the left. Please. Passa, gente, passa por fora. Vai.
Oh yeah. That's all.
Left or right, okay? Oh my God. Yeah, that's thank you. Oh, Mark. Come on, guys, back out the door.
Whoever gets the shot of the ball, I'm Sarah.
Hey, Britney!
Okay? I'm concerned about you, though, okay?
Gunshots, please, guys. No, guys, please, guys, don't do this. No. Fuck it! Fuck yourself!
New York Daily News. The photo, this one here, appears to show the newly bald pop star swinging an umbrella at a car on Wednesday night before she ultimately returned to Promises Malibu. That's a treatment center for drug and alcohol abuse. It's her third try at rehab in a little over a week, but could it stick this time?
I have 2 daughters, and I remember the picture of Britney after she shaved her head with the umbrella, one of the most famous shots. I felt freaked out for you. What were you feeling when you saw that?
Broken. Just broken.
Why did you send her to Promises, that rehab center?
Well, I just felt like she needed to sort her life out.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes, if you, like I said, don't run from your problems, you need to stop. You need to stop what you're doing and think.
What was she doing? Was she doing drugs and alcohol, do you think?
I don't know.
So a lot of people are going back and forth on why she shaved her head. Some people are like, oh, her grandma or her aunt passed of cancer. That's why she shaved her head. I could see that, but I feel like she just did it because she wanted to have control. She mentioned multiple times how, you know, her family would make her shake her hair on stage to look like sexy and all that stuff. I think it was more so of a control thing, not so much paying homage to somebody with cancer. I just think she just snapped. They had been withholding her kids from her. She couldn't go anywhere without asking to go somewhere. She just snapped. She actually ended up having to pay that paparazzi person a settlement for the incident.
That's the video. Rehab. Sorry for calling you.
Oh wow, she did that too? This?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Oh, let me feel. Oh, yeah, that's where she got you an umbrella? Yeah.
Like, they were harassing her and she ended up having to pay them anyway. Crazy. But yeah, every time that she would act out like this, her people would send her to an institution. And it came to a point where this was like a revolving thing and it just broke her down.
You better work, bitch.
Remember earlier how I said they adultified her at 13? Well, now they were actively infantilizing her. And they only wanted her to be sexy on stage. And any other time, they wanted her to be an obedient child.
But like, I just really want to talk and just say how nice our world is. Like, it is so nice. Like, I'm gonna cry right now because our world is so nice. No, it really is, because oh my god, the other day I saw this magazine and I looked at it and it said I was pregnant, and I went up to my mom and I was like, oh my god, my mom knew, she was right. Always believe everything you read, everybody, because I really am pregnant. And then I went to this person and they saw it on the USA Today that I was drinking a lot, and it was so true. It was so true. And then it was just so weird because then after that everybody just always believe what you read, because in all my management they totally knew what they were doing when they sent me to rehab. Totally. They totally knew what they were doing. It's just so weird how great and nice our world is. And after this, nobody's gonna talk about this because our world is so nice. So that's all I wanted to say. So okay, bye.
Okay, thank you, Britney.
It came to the point now, Jamie Lynn is older. She also chimed in on bullying Britney and putting her down.
Jamie Lynn says as the years passed, she noticed Britney's behavior begin to change.
Words that you've used in the book to describe her behavior over your lifetime was erratic, paranoid, spiraling. How do you see your sister's state of mind currently?
I can't really speak to anyone else's state of mind. I don't think that's fair. But I'm allowed to say how I felt in those, because that matters. It matters that I was in pain.
You talked in the book about the role that you were asked to play in the conservatorship.
There was a time where my sister asked me of her trust and will if I would be the person who assured that her boys got what they needed. Whether she's in a conservatorship or not, that was a very normal thing, I thought. Once I realized that, she's in a conservatorship, I felt like I just didn't want to be a part of until maybe she was out of the conservatorship. So there was no me overseeing funds or something like that. And if that wasn't, it was a misunderstanding. But first off, I don't understand. When it was put into place, I was 17-year-old. I was about to have a baby, so I didn't understand what was happening, nor was I focused on that. I was focused on the fact that I was a 17-year-old about to have a baby. I understand just as little about it then as I do now.
And just a little backstory on Jamie Lynn. Britney's parents actually got back together because the money was too good. It was too lucrative. So they got back together, and think about it, it makes you look better in the eyes of the court too if you are the two biological parents. So those two got back together. So Jamie Lynn has this picture perfect ass experience of a childhood, teenagehood. She's a teen parent, yeah, but so what? I'm living off my sister's money. I don't have any consequences. That's another thing. Just how Jamie Lynn was brought up, people should have known that her parents were just on some backwoods country shit. It just was weird.
Lynn, how you doing? Why is it that Britney? How you doing, Jamie Lynn?
Okay.
Can I ask you a question? How are things with your mom and your sister? I mean, there's a lot of rumor of them having problems with each other.
A real thing that really disturbed me that I saw in here was part of the conservatorship, that they wanted to know who she was dating, and they had to do blood tests. She had to give them her blood work, sexual history, all of that stuff. Just very, very invasive. And this was all because of her dad.
Your dad doing a background check on David. Is that not true?
That is true.
That is true.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Does that embarrass you?
My dad's a little crazy like that.
Does he own a gun?
He does own a gun.
Okay, yourself there.
He owns a gun.
Does David and your father get along?
Yeah, they get along.
So the background check came out clean.
Yeah.
Well, clean enough.
She couldn't eat certain things. When she woke up every morning, they would give her a schedule of what she was going to do, where she was going to go, what she was going to wear.
If I wasn't under the restraints that I'm under right now, I'd feel so liberated. And when I tell them the way I feel, it's like they hear me, but they're really not listening.
I'm very angry. I'm horribly angry.
Even when you go to jail, there's always the time that you know that you're going to get out, But in this situation, it's never ending. There's no excitement. There's no passion.
At this point, she was performing in Vegas. She had to do the same routines every freaking time. Every time she had to do the same routines, and whenever she would be like, hey, can we switch this up? Magically, oh, I don't know. And then the next day, yeah, you need to go to the doctor. Goes to the doctor. Oh, we found some energy pills in your purse, so we need to send you to rehab. Send her to rehab. That's how it went every time. They would find like little shit and send her to rehab.
You're guarded, you have to be that way. Otherwise, you get taken advantage of and get in situations like I did the past year. I had let certain people into my life that were just bad people, and I was very guarded at first, but then I went to a point where I ended up letting them in because I was lonely or whatever the fact, and I really paid the consequences for that, and big time. But I just feel like, you do something wrong and you learn from it, you move on, but it's like I'm having to pay for it for a really long time. I'm having to pay for it for a really long time. For a really long time. They're hearing what they want to hear. They're not really listening to what I'm telling them. It's like, it's bad. I'm sad.
There's something about being able to drive your car that allows freedom, and I haven't been able to drive my car.
That's 12:29 a.m.
Hi, my name is Britney Spears. I called you earlier, but I'm calling again because I just wanted to make sure during the process of ending the conservatorship that my father has threatened me several times that he'll take my children away. I just want to be guaranteed that everything will be fine with the process of you guys taking care of everything and things are being the same as far as my custodial time. That's it. Bye.
Feeling Vegas? No, really, how you feeling? Honestly, without the music and just the mic, it kind of feels illegal. Like it's quiet right now. And it feels kind of illegal doing this with this mic in my hand right now. It feels so weird. I want to ask you guys a little question. Just one question. If somebody tells you you can't do something, what do you do?
1999. This phone.
Please stop. Really, are you serious?
Come on.
Oh my God, you're such a dork and a nerd. Hello, the biggest nerd.
Tell me, what do you remember about this day? Do you?
I have no idea. I don't remember. Yeah. The secret to happiness.
There it is.
No memory. Right
Really?
there. Exactly.
That's it. I like that.
Particularly regarding her father's involvement in her rehab stint during her successful Las Vegas residency. Britney Spears, who was under a conservatorship overseen by her father, Jamie Spears, at the time disclosed that her then boyfriend, Charlie Ebersol, introduced her to energy-boosting products without seeking approval from Jamie. These products were not prescription medications, but over-the-counter supplements aimed at enhancing her energy levels and overall health. Britney Spears believed that Ebersol's regimen was beneficial for her, but her father had different concerns. Jamie, who had significant control over her medical decisions, began to view these energy supplements negatively. He reportedly thought Britney had an issue with these supplements and...
Now, picking up on what I said earlier, and the reason why I said I do feel like Britney might have a substance problem with uppers is because why are these things constantly on your person? How the fuck in this tightly bound conservatorship surveillance scenario do you somehow keep coming up with these uppers? Now, I know somebody out there might argue like, oh, well, that's how she had to keep up with all the work they were making her do. My rebuttal to that is if there was a substance that was making her able to keep up with the work and make them more money, why would they not allow her to get a prescription for Adderall, right? They've already manipulated all of this other shit with the court to get what they want.
Something that people in her situation have to deal with, and that is exactly why she ended up back in a mental health facility about almost a month ago now.
Almost a month to the day.
Yeah.
So, look, I mean, she has had mental health issues, serious ones, and this is no secret because she has been under a conservatorship for going on a dozen years. That is highly unusual that she will be under this conservatorship probably for the rest of her life. Had significant issues that have been righted with the help of Jamie Spears, her dad, and medication for this condition.
A very specific combination of medications, a cocktail.
It is a medical cocktail.
Father said that if I didn't go, then I'd have to go to court and I'd be embarrassed. I felt like it was a form of blackmail and I was being gaslit.
Everyone's just wondering, how's Britney doing right now? Yeah. She's great? Yeah, I mean, it looks like you're doing a great job. Everyone's wondering, what's the role that you're playing in her life right now?
Thank you very much. She's doing amazing. I think, her friends are so amazing to be concerned with. She's doing.
I felt like it was a form of blackmail and I was being gaslit. I honestly felt they were trying to kill me.
They could easily just say, oh, she has an alcohol problem and constantly put her in certain scenarios to where she could be drunk. But no, they know that they can always catch you with an energy pill or something, right? That's why I said there's something going on. There's something going on. And then when it comes to how Britney be acting now that she's out of the conservatorship, she do be having a lot of energy. And I'm not saying she's on Adderall, but maybe sugars, tons of sugars, because again, she's been very restricted. So just eating tons of sugars, anything upper caffeine, stuff like that, right? Let me know if y'all peep that.
It's Britney, bitch. The conservatorship was created supposedly because I was incapable of doing anything at all. So why was it that a few weeks later, they sent me on a grueling world tour? I begin to think that he saw me as put on Earth for no other reason than to help their cash flow.
Mr. Spears appears to, on the surface, have some serious financial problems going on.
Eric Stonewald is a forensic accountant.
As we look at various documents, we see civil judgments for amounts of $10,000, $20,000. We see federal and state tax liens by the Department of Labor.
June 1992, the Inland Revenue sent Jamie Spears a demand for over $30,000 in tax arrears, and it may have been up to Britney to bail her family out.
A family where there is not an independent income stream on behalf of mom or dad, a family where suddenly the child's success begins to dominate family life, you are looking at trouble.
I begin to think that he saw me as put on Earth for no other reason than to help their cash flow. He said, I call the shots. I'm Britney Spears now.
So now let's get into the Free Britney era. So remember how I told you guys whenever she would do something, they would make up this random ass reason and just send her to a fucking rehab. So she was in a rehab at this point, doped up on lithium, just not doing very well. And one of the nurses actually came up to her and was like, girl, you got to look at this. Pulled the computer up and showed her the Free Britney movement of people noticing like, damn, our girl's been gone for a minute. Like, where is she at? What's going on? And they noticed like she hasn't really been switching up the routine. Like she's looking very, like what is tea? So that is when the Free Britney movement happened, and she didn't even know that she can get a lawyer to fight the conservatorship. Like she didn't know.
What do we want? What do we want? Loud and with Free Britney signs in hand, fans marched outside the Stanley Moss courthouse today. What do we want? Free Britney! They're hoping Britney Spears and the judge will hear them as lawyers went back to the courtroom in the battle over the control of the singer's finances and part of her personal life.
I mean, I think it's a basic human rights case at the end of the day.
There's so much conservatorship abuse that goes on, not only in Britney's case, but in so many other cases.
For the last 11 years, Jamie Spears, Britney's father, has been her conservator, meaning he had the final say on all of Britney's personal and financial affairs. But recently, he stepped down, giving the rights to Britney's care manager, Jody Montgomery.
All is well. My family has been going through a lot of stress and anxiety lately, so I just needed time to deal.
That was the last time we heard Spears talk about her family in an Instagram post back in April, assuring fans everything was fine. Although according to the LA Times, Spears checked into a medical facility the same month to focus on self-care. Britney didn't show up to today's hearing, but her father, Montgomery, and her mother, Lynn Spears, did. All sides asked for the judge to clear the courtroom and seal all documents in the case because they contained medical information and details about the singer's children. In the conservatorship, now! Back outside the courtroom, Free Britney fans are sending this message to the pop princess tonight.
So she kind of helped me come out. She helped me want to dance. She wanted to help me to be my own person.
I hope that she is truly okay and that we are here to support her no matter what she wants to do, we will support her.
Although Britney Spears did not show up to court today, her lawyer did. Now we have reached out to him, but have yet to hear back.
So after that happened, it was just too much press on the situation. So her father did discharge her from the rehab, and they went home and just pretended like nothing happened. She said even Jamie Lynn was there with her kids and all, and everybody just pretended like everything was hunky-dory. And again, remember back in the past, when she would cut up, they would throw her right back into an institution. So she played it nice. She played it nice and played it cute or whatever for the time being. Then when they finally left, she went full gusto.
In 2008, Britney was put into a heavily scrutinized conservatorship. Last June, before it was dissolved, Britney testified in court calling it abusive, saying, "I would honestly like to sue my family. And my family has lived off my conservatorship for 13 years.
She met a lot of women through AA programs, and like she's credits AA and stuff like that to how she learned about how normal people, you know, cope with shit and stuff that her parents did not teach her because they didn't have the tools, right? She had a friend who she had met through her rehabilitation.
We were on tour together, spent every day together for, you know, a while. And in that time, she gave me a letter that she wanted me to read to you guys. And I'm putting it right up here behind me because before I got a chance to read it to you guys, the conservatorship took it and destroyed it. So before they destroyed it, I did make a copy. So here it is. Britney has been silenced to speak about anything that's really going on. The people controlling her life have made $3 million this year. This next part is blurred out, so I'm going to show it to you guys. Okay, but this part says, if she speaks up, she is threatened. Sorry, some of this it's hard to read. She would love for new eyes to see her situation, but if she brings it up, she's constantly threatened that the conservators will take her kids away. How long does this go on? As long as the people are getting paid and she has no rights, it could go on for a while. But it doesn't make it right at all. Everyone is very quick to put a gloomy eye on Britney. Britney's given her brother a $2 million apartment, her mother a $4 million estate in Louisiana, and her father the best job in show business. She's a very giving person and would love to get the respect she deserves.
She credits them for all of this stuff. And she lawyers up. She goes to the judge and says to him, you know, I would like to get married. I would like to have kids. I want to do what I want to do. Because, again, you have to get blood work and all this shit just to hold hands with the bitch. Like, and another thing with her sons, like, even her sons are on social media now.
What's going on with my mom? I'll tell you guys the whole story for my mom and stuff if I get 5,000 followers on my Instagram. How can we support your mom? Well, I don't know. Cause like, I'm trying to do stuff, but like, they're all like over me or whatever. Is your grandpa a jerk? Yeah, he's a pretty big dick. He's pretty fucking gay as shit. He can go die. Kill my grandfather, bro. I was thinking the same thing. What did he say?
Like, they're fully aware of what's going on now. Like, it's too hard to deny what's going on. It's been 13 years. Y'all had a good run, but this is exploitative at this point. And the judge agreed and gave Britney her freedom, child.
It's been a while.
So now let's look at the aftermath.
Official, the conservatorship of Britney Spears has been terminated.
It was the moment of victory when the hashtag #FreeBritney could be replaced with Freed Britney. A Los Angeles judge approved the termination of a form of legal guardianship which has seen other people control the singer's professional and personal life and her huge fortune.
Just knowing that she's been through this for almost 14 years. So I can't even imagine how good she feels.
Although Britney is free, and that was always our main goal, this movement is going to morph into something even bigger, and we're going to continue to fight these injustices because nobody deserves to be enslaved by the system the way Britney was and the way so many conservatives around the world are.
Britney Spears was 26 when her father Jamie established the conservatorship. She'd been forced to perform against her will and prevented from marrying or having more children. Jamie Spears agreed to step aside.
If this happened to Britney, it can happen to anybody. So I want to thank Britney first and foremost. Second, I want to thank all of you.
The judge said an accountant would continue in a temporary role to settle financial issues, including the transfer of the singer's assets.
Okay, so the aftermath is now we have Britney on Instagram, all of that, Facebook, twirling around in her living room naked.
On Thursday, the 40-year-old pop star shared 2 full-body, not safe for work selfies on Instagram with her 38.3 million followers. Free woman energy has never felt better. She captioned the steamy pics.
If you follow her on Instagram, you know she posts quite frequently. She has turned off her comments, but this hasn't stopped the world from talking about her. On Tuesday, though, these videos seemed to really take a turn, leaving many confused and concerned as speculation started rolling through. Britney took to Instagram to post a very animated and bizarre video. This video is just under a minute long, but through it, she switches through a couple different accents. She discusses fashion, then it turns to telling fans not to call the cops if she deletes her Instagram. She poses with the dress in front of her without putting it on and moves forward to the camera, then back again a few times. In this recent video, she says, "So guys, I just wanted to let you know if I shut down my Instagram, do not call the cops."
Britney Spears' handlers claim she's on meth and could die. Recent reports about pop icon Britney Spears have stunned the internet. Britney Spears' health has become a talk of the town lately. According to sources, Britney is now hooked on meth and close to dying. Her ex-husband, Kevin Federline, and her estranged father, Jamie Spears, seem concerned about this and said in a statement that they suspect the toxic singer is on drugs and could possibly die as a result. "I fear she's on meth. I've been praying someone would make it public and that she wakes up," Federline, 45, told the Daily Mail Saturday. "It's terrifying. She's the mother of my boys."
She even brought it up in the book. She was like, look, girl, I didn't get to do none of that. I just want to have some control. Like, and it's so obvious that, you know, it is what it is. And I know in her brain, she's like, bro, you guys have seen every single freaking piece of me, literally. Like, I am just so numb to being consumed by the masses that I think that she just wanted to feel normal. I really do.
Pop star shared a lengthy Instagram message documenting her first time going to a fancy restaurant in LA. Writing in part, quote, "I felt like I was 6 years old by the way this food made me feel. I failed to mention I had my first glass of red wine in 13 years. I felt more sexy in that restaurant than I ever have in my entire life. Then I look up at the stars. Wow, is this what I've been missing?" She then explained that the food was so good it brought her to tears. Quote, "I cried over food in this beautiful restaurant. I couldn't believe what I was experiencing with this food."
Now, what I do feel bad about is that in the book, she does talk about her fiance/husband and how they got married, like, immediately after the conservatorship happened, like, got cut.
Britney Spears and Sam Asghari's relationship timeline. Britney Spears and Sam Asghari's relationship timeline has been well documented since they met on the set of her Summer Party music video in October 2016. Asghari has been a huge support system for Spears in her personal and professional lives, including during her piece of residency in Las Vegas, after she spent 30 days in a mental health facility in spring 2019. They got engaged in September 2021 and tied the knot in June 2022. However, they separated in late July 2023 after a year of marriage. Spears and Asghari's relationship has been a long time coming.
New details about Britney Spears' divorce and what new court documents reveal about the split from her husband Sam.
Asghari filing for divorce on Wednesday, citing irreconcilable differences. According to the filing, the exes have been separated since July 28th. Overnight, Asghari posting to Instagram, "After 6 years of love and commitment to each other, my wife and I have decided to end our journey together. We will hold on to the love and respect we have for each other, and I wish her the best, always." The breakup coming 14 months after the pair said "I do" in a star-studded ceremony at their home in Los Angeles last summer.
The singer and actor tied the knot in front of 60 guests in Los Angeles, with Madonna, Selena Gomez, Paris Hilton, Donatella Versace, and Drew Barrymore all in attendance. At one point in the night, the bride posed with a group of women and even sang a Madonna classic.
Don't just stand there, let's get to it. Strike the pose, there's nothing to it.
Bang! Hilton wore a black dress with a high slit for the occasion, while Gomez rocked a blue suit. Madonna chose a rainbow-hued dress, and Barrymore wore a brown flowing gown. According to sources, Versace designed Spears' wedding dress and chose a powder blue ensemble herself. A lawyer for Spears' ex-husband, Kevin Federline, told People that their sons, 16-year-old Sean Preston and 15-year-old Jaden James, were not in attendance, but added that they are happy for their mom. Other family members not present included her dad, Jamie, mom, Lynn, sister Jamie Lynn, and brother Brian.
They dated for 5 years during the controversial conservatorship that managed Spears' life and career until 2021, when they announced their engagement. At the time, attorneys for Spears filed a motion to suspend her father, Jamie, as a conservator, in part so she could negotiate a prenuptial agreement ahead of the wedding. Asghari's management telling ABC News there are many claims that Sam is challenging the prenup and threatening to exploit his ex-wife with videos. However, all these claims are false, as no negative intention has ever been directed towards her and never will be. In his filing, Asghari is asking the court to grant spousal support, attorney's fees, and determine rights to unspecified shared assets.
And in terms of alimony, for marriages of less than 10 years in California, alimony is about half of the length of the marriage. They were only married for 14 months. So even if she did arguably have to pay in spousal support, it's not going to be for a very long period of time at all.
And I'm not going to lie to you, I did side-eye him. I did, only because why would Britney's father and mother be cool with him, right? You can't do both. You can't be cool with the conservatorship, people that own the estate and shit, and keeping her in bondage, and the girl in bondage. Like, if you cared about her, you would get her free, right? So how are you with her for 6 years, married for 1 in freedom, and then you get a divorce? Britney says she's keeping it to her chest. She's not talking about it. Hopefully she writes another book because I would love to hear the tea. But I think what it was is he was an op. I think he was a fucking op. I think that she may have even had an inkling of him being an op, because word on the street is that prenup is rock solid. Like, rock solid, bitch. Like, whoever her lawyer was when she got out that conservatorship did her good. They were like, look, we're not about to have another person steal money from this woman. Like, the fuck.
So I usually don't talk about things that go on after the book, but since I brought up the divorce and everything, I think it's only fair to bring up, you know, what are they doing now? So like I mentioned earlier, Justin is still on his please forgive me tour. I'm a nice guy tour. Like, sir, like, nobody is looking for you. So yeah, he's on his redemption arc. He's trying to appeal to multiple community. I really don't know his goal, but that's what Justin's up to. K-Fed, even though I feel like he initially did not come into this with manipulative intent, I really feel like he's just a careless slinger, if you get what I'm putting down. Over time, it evolved into him being an active participant in this conservatorship, in my opinion. And he is continuing to lash out, posting little stuff on social media of Britney interacting with her kids.
I'm in here when we're trying to go to bed, and then you just go and you
It's
say,
my house. You all better start respecting me. Are we clear? You all need to start treating me like a woman with worth. I am a woman, okay? Be nice to me. Do you understand?
Former dancer shared 2 old videos on Instagram Wednesday night. The first featuring Britt having a word with the boys at her home.
This is my house. If I want to come in here and give you lotion for your face because it is coarse, and all you tell me, no, it's fine, it's fine. No, it's not fine. You all better start respecting me. Are we clear?
Yeah.
Then we see Britt upset with her eldest son for not wearing shoes inside a store and disciplining him by taking away his phone.
Have you lost your mind? I do care, but I'm shocked as with you, and I don't know what to do, and I'm scared of you because you're weird, because you're going through puberty. I was in shock in the store when I looked down, and Jaden, how are you so cool about that? Your brother being with Bear's big feet, size 13 now?
Well, he's my brother.
And all the more exposed, his feet, your blood in the ice cream shop in Alaska weather? Don't you think that's a little odd? No. Yeah, I think your phone should be gone.
Kevin since deleted both videos, but in the caption, he explained why he felt the need to share. I cannot sit back and let my sons be accused in this way after what they've been through. As much as it hurts us, we've decided as a family to post these videos the boys took when they were 11 and 12. This isn't even the worst of it. The lies have to stop.
In my opinion, very normal interactions. Like, if this was not Britney Spears, that's usually how moms and kids interact. And obviously there's going to be a disconnect there. They've never seen their mother as like an authority figure. They've always seen her as a puppet, a bank. So yeah, there's trauma. There's going to be stuff they have to work through. And I think it's really sloppy. And I'm going to just say it's very classless, very ghetto of K-Fed to be posting that. And I don't care if you're a celebrity or not. You're posting your kids' intimate, like, punishments and like, you know, like that's weird. So that's what K-Fed's up to. Britney's father is actually going through it. I just saw him, he got his dang leg amputated, girl. Like, it's just a lot going on. Like, he's having a lot of health problems, and he was having health problems before the conservatorship even got wiped. So yeah, that's wild. Jamie Lynn and her mother are both on the Please Forgive Me Britney tour. They just want to be in Britney's good graces. In my opinion, I think they just want a little piece of that pie. They probably weren't putting money away. Jamie Lynn can say all she wants that she didn't know what was going on, but girl, you haven't worked since Zoe 101. Like, now you over here on all these reboots because the money is up. Like, keep it a buck. It's over. It's over. And yeah, Mr. Sam is just going on with his life. And Britney is moving on with hers with more little boy toys and stuff, apparently. Yeah, it's strange times.
So yeah, that was a crazy read. It was, what I learned from that is that unfortunately Britney has been stunted, and I blame her parents. She has been robbed of a lot of things that we take for granted. Like, I do think that Britney, unfortunately, is stunted a little bit emotionally. And it's her parents' fault. And she says it over and over and over again in the book. Like, they treat her like a little girl and she has to reclaim the womanhood. And that's why I like that this is called The Woman in Me. Because, you know, usually we have to connect to our inner child and we're the adult on the outside. But Britney is literally, I don't know, they just infantilized her so much, but at the same time sexualized her. And in here you get to see like the real woman. Like, I don't know, it's crazy how the media and her parents has to do with it too. It's just crazy how the media really painted her to be a completely different person. But I'm very optimistic when it comes to Britney. My advice to you, Britney, if you're watching this, we love you, man. We want to see the best for you. And honestly, just put your page on private, girl. That's what the average person does. They just put their page on private and do what they want to do. I love your little shady posts on Instagram. It's just really cool to see you being yourself and stuff. However, I will say, like, you might want to put your page on private so you can just post whatever you want, because your babies see you naked online, girl. It is crazy. But hey, it is what it is. That's all I got, guys. Thank you so much for suggesting this book. Let me know what you guys think in the comments, and let me know if any of you guys have read this book, because I really enjoyed it. It was a good one. That's all I got. Make sure you guys like this video on the way out and comment below on what other books you think that I should read in 2024. Yeah, that's it. Thank y'all so much. I will see you guys